But I'm going to let you guys call all of the action as it unfolds here on map number 1, Hollywood.
Well, Jason, it was once bright and shiny outside here, but it is nighttime. But it's not nighttime on Hollywood, where the sun always shines.
Isn't it in the alien section? Isn't it dark?
I mean, it's dark in there, but I mean, the sun's still shining outside. That still has to count.
Yeah, it just reminds me of my room, though, with my blackout curtains, because gamers, we don't like the sun.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I think I need the basement on Oasis to really feel like I'm in my natural habitat.
Okay. I don't know what to say on that one. I think I just went over my head a little bit there. But, you know, Hollywood, I guess we can maybe talk about comps that will potentially come into this. FNRGFE. Hey, I even nailed it. I'm surprised. We'll be on the defense first, and we'll have Arc6 on the attack. We have seen a little bit of Roadhog play earlier today. Not sure if we're going to see it yet again here out of either of these two teams. But maybe any sneaky picks going to come in that you might expect?
Sneaky picks, we'll have to see. The defense is certainly looking very standard so far. And for Arc6, I think if there is going to be any sneakiness, it probably would just come with a fair play. It'd be really weird if you had Dahoon come in as a Roadhog, given what he normally plays. And no, he's going to be swapping off. So you can never really take Arc6 too seriously on their pre-game picks. They just like messing with us, Jason.
Well, we are going to see the Jamerson. That looks like Ginger, Pop, and Zog going to be paired together. XQC going to be a person that I really want to look at because of his aggressive style. Without having an Ana there to heal you or a Zenyatta depend on the Lucio to keep you alive is going to be very difficult to play the style that he wants to do.
Well, part of the reason why it's difficult is we see Dahoon die more often than other Lucios, and it's not really his fault. He has to go in deeper in the setup to support everyone else that's not part of the combination. So Dahoon has to play a little bit fast and loose with the rules on where you position on Lucio. But that said, we have Zog coming in from the backline, damage boosted, and throwing rockets into the cafe. This is actually really good for Arc6 so far here, Jason. They have plenty of room to work with, and it pays off. Buds takes a rocket right to the grill, and this is just easy for Arc6.
I mean, what's there to deal with them? There's no soldier. There's nothing to really hit him in the air except maybe the Ana being played by Bonnie, but even him has fallen, he has fallen down here. And that was a relatively easy start for Arc6. So they get the first engagement, they get the first point, and now looking to transition into the second, though they're actually not going to be pushing around the corner because the point was taken. Well, no, it's because they wiped them earlier than the point was taken, so there was no chance for them to actually solidly get control of this outside high ground.
No, not in the least. I mean, it could be a little bit worse. FNRGFE didn't go in and stagger, then die, then they have no one out there. So they'll have more contesting of the high ground than they would have had in that situation. But it's still a very rough beginning because now you look at Arc6, they're going to have momentum coming into this next point. Certainly they have Resurrection in reserve, but they also have the Barrage. So FNRGFE, they're going to have to find a way to come in here, get a clean pick off, and that might be just it. XQC, a little bit too far deep. Muma comes back, punishes him with his team, and now for 6v5, Jason, the odds are much more even.
I was going to say, it could be a 6v5 or it could be a 6v6 again if they did want to invest the res into this, but they're going to use Anazah here. He gets one kill on the Bonnie, so there's no Transcendence potentially coming through because, well, obviously Bonnie only has 37%. The res going to be used, picks up 2 yet again. Seems like Ginger Pop's calling card to always get those 2 men reses, and he gets the 2 DPS.
I think he actually gets fined if he gets more than 2 or less than 2. That's why it is always a consistent 2, but it does work out here where Arc6 able to stay within this fight. They push out the sound barrier from FNRGFE, but FNRGFE had to do that just to stay even, but there it is! The self-destruct in the back. Cool man, evening up the odds here in this fight, and something that's become rather scrappy here so far, Jason.
XQC's looking for the knockaway. He's actually looking for both supports, looking for that Zen Body. He's just barely able to survive here, but now he's trapped in the corner. What are you doing, son? Well, that's what he's doing. He's getting the kill. XQC baited him in, and he does shut that man down and does give FNRGFE finally some control here on the second point.
There was no rolling, there was no smoking. There was just a Zenyatta getting his kill there towards the very end. Not quite what XQC might have been looking for, but this is good for FNRGFE. They've been able to stabilize, and now you want to talk about X factors on this team. Well, Buds at times has really been leveling up his Genji, and he has that blade on command here, Jason, which could make this fight a lot easier for them.
Just wondering who we can really kill with this, because you have the Boop out of Dahoon who can just run away. You have Dante who can blink away. You have Ginger, Pop, and Zog who can just sit in the area. Space, XQC that can get away as well. So, Buzz, yeah, you have the blade, but what can you really kill? Well, nothing right now, because he's already been killed. He's been dropped off here, even while the Transcendence was being used.
The blade wasn't able to come out there because of the Transcendence, and now, I mean, this is now problematic, where you see FNRGFE struggling to maintain control. They weren't able to take advantage of their own trance. Buds wasn't even able to bring out the blade, and you see them just stuck buying time here. But in the effort of buying time, Buds is going to be coming back out the blade rather quickly, and now he comes in from the flank. The blade is out.
I still don't know what he's going to kill, though.
I'm not sure Buds knows what he's going to kill because he hasn't found anyone yet, Jason. Ends up getting nothing with that blade.
There's too much mobility. There's too much high guard control with Arc 6. Like, there's just no way you're going to kill them unless somehow you catch Ginger Pop out of position or you get the burst on a Dante. But again, the two-man res comes through. Za and Dante going to be the 2 men alive. But Bud's going to kill finally on the Za to shut him down in the middle of that barrage.
Indeed, and FNRGFE, they're able to bring that back, res or no res, and finally Ginger Pop is last to fall, but that's almost a mark of pride for him. He usually does not die first. Now, I feel like I've cursed him again because I said that last time we saw him on Hollywood and he did end up dying first in the next fight, but in general, he's a Mercy that's very good at avoiding early pickoffs.
Now, ZP, can we just make a deal here and call FNRGFE FNRGFE?
FNRGFE. I don't know if I can do that. But maybe. I'll try and consider it over the course of the set.
Reminds me of the Black Eyed Peas, like Fergie, FNRGFE.
FNRGFE.
I don't know.
Maybe that would just be enough to get them to finally switch it. Where they'd be like, we're not FNRGs. We're not FNRGs at all.
I was called that a lot back in middle school, so they're definitely not FNRGs. We do see the pulse one coming in from behind from Clockwork. He's just looking for the right person to throw it onto, maybe looking towards space on that Diva, but that sound barrier got him a little bit extra healthy that the pulse bomb would not eat through his HP bar, and he would be able to survive as Buds will take down the Hunt.
The problem is for Arc 6 is that they're not decisively taking these fights. This is really taking a long time. Pizza going to the back line, he loses Ginger Pop. Matt gets rid of the problem early on here. He's gonna get demeched for his troubles, but this opens things up here for Clockwork. Good HP on the point, darting in and around, and FNRGFE in a sense is kind of rope-a-doping Arc 6 here, not really heavily engaging, backing out, making space, and finally, Arc 6 has to back out.
I know XQC survived that, but I guess that wasn't the target they would have focused down. Take down Za, take down space, let the monkey escape. We'll be back anyways in just a few seconds, but we look at ultimates across the board here. Buds is going to have the blade again. As we saw last time, he got absolutely nothing with it, and I still don't see a way he's gonna get anything unless he just somehow catches the burst onto someone. There's too much escape for Ginger Pop to Hood. If you don't play it wrong and you get the boot at the right time, then you're not gonna be chased down either. So I don't know what Bud's gonna be able to do with this blade, but he still has opportunity. We know he's a good Genji. It's just about Arc 6 getting out of position.
Well, he's going for the anti-air Dragon Blade, going to the sky and cuts Za right down. Buds rejects your logic, Jason.
Well, I mean, Genji's being able to double jump. I don't think they believe in logic or physics for that matter. We do have Muma with the Primal Rage ready to go now, so they invested, what, 1 ultimate into that, maybe 2 with the Pulse Bomb. Clockwork, I don't think he cleaned up a kill with it, but at least zone them in a different direction. And Ginger Pop will have res yet again. Zal's gonna have the barrage, they also have the self-destruct, so pop on top of the point. Maybe put the barrage in behind him on the saloon, so you actually hit him from both sides. Maybe be able to pick up a couple of kills, and also you die in a relatively close area to allow Ginger Pop to get that res.
And now Za holding onto the barrage, but not an easy task to find out where to put it. He's been under pressure by Matt for a while. His space has been limited, and XQC, while the rest of his team is in the back, he dives in and gets taken down, so the resurrection comes out. It's a one-man res. Ginger Pop gonna get fined later for that one, and Za drops the barrage, but gets a Diva right in his face. Absolutely nothing to be had there, and it's Clockwork and Buds on the flank, making the most of this opportunity, Jason, as the front line is distracted.
Well, I definitely liked how cool Matt uses his face as his best weapon, at least to the ladies, if you know what he looks like, as he just charges straight in his makes him take damage from his own barrage, finishes him off, and then turns around and kills Ginger Pop right after, with the help of Zen, played by Bonnie. So good job here, as they do hold on the second point. FNRGFE, FNRGFE, holding strong on the first map.
It was very good showing for a second point defense on Hollywood, and I mean, let me just tell you, Matt probably plays Face Hunter.
I mean, he's a very attractive man. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, he is cool. That much is for sure. Well, we are going back into the next round, and we'll see if FNRGFE is going to be able to put forward an attack that will be able to match the attack that Arc 6 just put out, and it's usually a pretty easy task.
Yeah, well, we'll see as it's going to be... I still want to see his face photoshopped on that monkey. He says he dances like that. I've never seen it, and he's definitely not rich. I know that's not his car. I see what he has in his refrigerator back at the hotel. Deli meat. I
mean, it's really high-grade deli meat.
Is there ever such a thing?
I mean, it's the highest grade you could get at a Safeway, Jason. Let's put Whole Foods might be a little bit out of his budget.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. Get that esports money. So now looking at Arc 6 on the defense, looks like they still want to commit to the Far Mercy, which we've seen them do quite a few times. And over the side of FNRGFE, I'm just doing it. You can go along with me,
FNRGFE, all right.
or you can just let me do it by myself. It's all good.
I'm just gonna add actual extra letters to FNRGFE or numbers and be like, and now
FNRGFE 69.
FNRGFE 69 coming in.
Now there's Rob 420 to join the team.
We're just gonna go all numbers.
Yeah. Well, maybe the first time. Actually, it was at 2146 in China. They actually just won the OPS, if I'm not mistaken. Or 1246, I think it is actually.
I've actually just lost my mind. I have no idea what we're talking about.
There's a team called 1246 in China that played in OPS.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. Numbers for everyone. But now we're taking a look here. FNRGFE. The attack will be underway shortly, and they're not changing up too much, but Buds, instead of being on the Genji, is going to be on the 76, so he is going to be offering punching power from the back. Meanwhile, you take a look at Arc 6 as they set up their defense. They're running Pharah, Rain, Sleet, or Shine here. Za going to look to be the defensive power that Arc 6 needs here, Jason.
I mean, I still like the Pharah on defense just because of the mobility you have for Ginger Pop. Like, on Mercy, he's really good at Mercy. Why not allow him the freedom to just fly around when he does need to? And if you're not running Soldier into it, if you're FNRGFE here, okay, I should stop doing it, then you're not really going to stop him. And with the ability to play around this backside of the building, it's really hard to disrupt this combo. So now I think FNRGFE need to wrap around the backside, maybe dislodge from this location. But then again, if you do that, they can just switch around on you as well. And it's still really hard to take this combo out of the air.
Indeed, and I mean, part to that point is that Buds came in as a 76. He's supposed to be the Pharah control, and he ate 2 rockets immediately and was taken down. But FNRGFE, they're just going to rush right into the point. Winston D.Va leading the way. Plenty of space being created as Clockwork, well, he was in the back, but the rocket takes him out. It has been a bad day for Tracers eating rockets here, Jason.
Maybe they're just hungry. Maybe the Dragon's not sated, and the Dragon is hungry, like we talked about earlier on that Gibraltar game. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes difficult to remember, you know, as a Tracer, you don't really play against Pharah too often, and especially a Pharah of Za's caliber. So you have to be very careful of when these rockets do come their way. And there's nothing really to sit behind. It's just cool, Matt, with that defense matrix. You can see they're just constantly taking damage as they peek around that side of the building.
Indeed, and I think one thing that's really going to be difficult here for FNRGFE as they come in is that they also have to deal with Ginger Pop. Arc 6 is very good at having long delay defenses where, great, you got 2 or 3 kills. Guess what? Ginger Pop is there in the back and can bring everyone right back up. But now you take a look, he's under pressure. He almost goes down, and he does. It's Buds and Matt hunting down Ginger Pop. They've gotten rid of the resurrection threat, and now they're out for blood. Bonnie piling on here with the Transcendence, and they are invading the cafe. The lattes are there, Jason, as FNRGFE looking like they will secure this point.
Yeah, Ginger Pop gets caught out with things. If they can just stall up the payload for a little bit longer, the Reds might be able to come in here from Ginger Pop. He has someone to just fly to, but Hoon's going to be taking a rocket to the face, and that will be FNRGFE finally capturing the point. It'll take them a little bit of time, but look at this. Now they're being aggressive, right? They have a bad respawn on Dahun, and they can be able to take this high ground away from them, especially when they don't have anyone who can join Muma on this position.
And the other thing, too, is that the high ground isn't necessarily going to be safe for Ginger Pop or Za. One thing to look out for here is that Divas have gotten a lot better at using their self-destruct as a weapon of mass destruction against aerial combos. So you got to think when looking at Matt here that he might be looking for the self-destruct on the Za and Ginger Pop, but look at this. Arc 6 really isn't giving up much ground for free, Jason. They are coming directly back in, getting in the face of FNRGFE, and it's working.
I mean, to be fair, this map's a little bit harder, I think, to get that self-destruct combo on the people in the air. Like maps like on Oasis, what we saw earlier on, you have the ability to duck. You don't have the ability to duck or hide behind anything. At least with your concussive blast, you can get around corners and potentially get away from it. But then again, we've seen Kumat hit some ridiculous self-destructs.
Indeed, and Arc 6, though, they're doing a good job. Muma ends up staggering there somewhat a bit off kilter, and as a result, FNRGFE having to hold back, but that's kind of big. Dante goes a little bit too far out, gets caught by a Diva charge, and now there's going to be a brief moment here, Jason, where FNRGFE does have a 6v5. If they can push that pressure point, they might be able to push Arc 6 back.
Arc 6, so seems pretty confident. This payload, even after a minute of time, has not really gone anywhere here. Zala is just raining down terror here from this high ground position. The self-destruct going to come through again, and he's able to hide behind some good position. He actually gets the barrage on the Kumat. It's a one-man ultimate, but it's so worth it to not allow Kumat to get that resuit after the self-destruct.
Well, especially given the fact that Matt has effectively been stalking Za this entire time, where he has to worry about the defensive matrix nullifying his rockets. Once he's out of the fight, it opens things up far more for Za to just do what he wants to do. And even though the FNRGFE defense was very good here, Jason, now Arc 6 is creating the possibility of having a hold of their own. Pressure is starting to mount as time runs down.
Ginger Pop, ooh, very low on health. And actually, now he's pretty much just dead because there's no one else that can back him up here. Bud's to switch over for the Soldier to the Genji. And Clockwork picks himself up a double kill to allow this payload to maybe start to push forward. And he gets another kill onto Dante here. I don't think Dante was expecting him to just come flying around that corner and pop a couple of shots in his face. Enough space, just trying to stall, just trying to allow teammates to respawn back in.
And this stall is really important because FNRGFE can ride this momentum just about to the yellow box of victory. ARC-6 is going to need to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at this next fight because that's their margin of error here, Jason. If they lose one more fight, that's going to be it.
Well, here we go. They have a minute and 50 seconds left to do it. They don't have that many ultimates to use here, and they have to be very careful. Gingerpop, I think we need to see someone hunt him down in particular. Maybe Buzz needs to be the man to do it, because if you do not get rid of him, he's going to have that res. I don't know where that post bomb was going, but as Hex says, happy birthday to the ground.
I don't think the ground enjoys it. The ground is actually pretty beaten up with all these tracers throwing bombs there, Jason. But
especially today.
Very much today. This fight is underway. FNRGFE dropping the sound barrier. Buzz holds the blade, which he's been using for anti-air. Doesn't use it here just yet, but now it's out. Where is Buds? Who is his target right now? He uses it for Dahoon. That is one grounded target he can get, and it's the only target that the blade will taste. But it's Matt and Clockwork. They get to the back, they take down the combo, and the yellow box of victory should be FNRGFE's.
Dahoon, he might be able to get there and stall for a second, but not long enough for Gingerpop to respawn back in. And that looked very easy. I mean, Gingerpop, someone we coin and talk about as being a Mercy who's very good at positioning, died so many times there. I don't necessarily say out of like necessity or anything like that, but really unfortunate they weren't able to keep him alive longer.
I think this is where game tape has really worked against ARC-6. You get enough of their footage where you go, wow, these guys have been really successful in recent times. How have they been successful? Well, they run a really good Pharah, but then people realize, wait, Gingerpop is actually really good. So what you saw from FNRGFE there, I wouldn't even put on Gingerpop. I would say that they were very much going out their way to get to the back line and jump on him with 2-3 people at the same time. It was a highly effective Mercy squad.
Yeah, no kidding. And just talking about this, both of these teams, watching them, we had some amazing play, but I really have to call out Bud's Genji. He had some key Dragon Blades there.
He did. Actually, it was kind of weird because his Dragon Blades, they don't normally kill Pharah Mercies in the sky, but he was able to get like a dash through onto Gingerpop. They got the kill, they got the reset to dash back up and pop the blade, which gave him another dash. Played that really well. It's not very easy as a Genji to ever do that.
Yeah, no, Hex was making the joke earlier, like, well, this is why we use shotguns nowadays. Well, proving him wrong in that one is Buds. But Coolmat's Diva, we talked about it a little bit beforehand, but it is absolutely pivotal for them. He was able to balance the damage contribution and defense matrix usage incredibly well.
He absolutely was. And I mean, there was a case where he actually changed how Yikes, or ARC-6 rather, had to deal with him, where oftentimes they had to go, okay, we have to desuit the Diva before we could do anything. And plenty of teams go for that strategy, but I feel like Matt certainly was forcing their hand to some extent in terms of how they had to deal with that.
I think it was him and Bonnie together that really chimed well. Like when the Discord was ever up on Ginger, he was immediately shooting Ginger. I mean, he would mitigate shots when he needed to. There's actually some really clutch reaction times there. But I mean, let's be fair, Zah got some payback on that.
He did indeed. And he was the main note I had for ARC-6. And being able to pull out that Pharah on both offense and defense, actually, it showed how that can be used to great avail. Did not end up finding them victory in this one, but definitely going to be something I think we're going to be seeing more as we're going into Oasis next. And just to pull things back a little bit, obviously FNRGFE and ARC-6, that victory is required for both of these teams coming into this one, but FNRG even more so. And so the fact that they got this first map, they got to be coming into Oasis feeling pretty good.
I mean,